Hello and welcome. I'm Tessie Watson, and with the help of Dr. Laura Chubb, I put together this presentation to just show you what flipped classrooms are all about. What does it mean to have a flipped classroom? Well, it's actually a model of blended learning. That means that you have pre-recorded lectures that you watch in your own time. You also have readings that you need to do each week, and ideally you do those readings at least once before you watch the lectures, although the order is really up to you. Then you attend the scheduled workshops. While the pre-recorded lectures and readings are done in your own time, the scheduled workshops are done in person at set times. And it's here that you engage with one another and the teaching team about materials and other things that help deepen your knowledge. This also usually includes quizzes as well. Here's a comparison between traditional and flipped classrooms. On the left-hand side, you probably have classes that are following the traditional model. That's where you attend a lecture in person and then you have homework activities. In the flipped model, you have a lecture that you watch during your own time and then classroom activities that are in person. So what the flipped model can do is actually open up more time for interactive activities. Here's what you're expected to do in a flipped classroom. So in order for any of this to work, you must make sure you do the required readings and watch the lectures before you step into the classroom. And once you're in the workshop, it's important that you actively engage in class activities. The nature of classroom activities or a classroom procedure in flipped classrooms is that it's much more interactive and requires more participation from students than traditional classrooms. So why do we use this model? First of all, it's flexible, so it means that you can adjust your learning requirements more to your own time and your own schedule. This is especially important given the possibility of COVID-19 lockdowns. It also leads to more student-centered learning activities and more collaborative discussion. These are all easier to do in a workshop setting. It also can lead to important debates that, again, help you understand the subject matter for the course. And all this leads to better information retention. So the idea, and there's research to show this, that generally speaking, if you spend a lot of your time learning in a classroom, interacting with other students and performing activities, you tend to actually retain information better. So here's an example from HUMSERV 101, Psychology for Human Services. The front page of the Canvas page looks like this. So here is an example scenario from HUMSERV 101, a semester 1 course, the first module. So the first module is actually scheduled, the workshop for that module is scheduled for the 8th of March. So before that module at home, you're expected to watch the module videos. There's 4 of them, 1.1 through to 1.4. And you're also required to do the required readings for module 1. And while you're doing all of this, you need to make and review notes. Once you've done that, then you attend the workshop either in person or via Zoom. You need to do the quiz during class time if it's in person. And also learn additional subject information and make sure that you participate in classroom activities. So this is what it actually looks like when you access information, lectures, and readings in a flipped classroom. So you click on modules and then you scroll down and you find module 1 in this case, Introduction to the Course and Discipline of Psychology. The lecturer and facilitator is actually Dr. Kelsey Dean, and you can see here that there's a link to the required readings and individual links for each of the videos, also called mini modules in this course. If you click on one of those videos, it will look something like this. Quite possibly might ask you to actually log in with your UPI and password. And the video, in this case, lasts 15 minutes and is just an explanation of what psychology is. We go back to modules. We also want to access the readings. It's actually recommended that you do the readings prior to watching the module videos or the lecture videos. And when you click on the reading list, it should look something like this. So the dates need to be changed in this case, but yours will look something like this. And you need to click on the View Online button for each of those readings. In this case, it just takes you to a web page, and you have these options on the side that take you to different parts of this web page you should read. In other cases, you will come across a page that looks a bit different. This is another news article format, but in other cases, you might be asked to download a PDF. There's required readings for each of the modules. So make sure that you read those prior to the workshop. So for those of you who are doing HUMSERV 101 in semester 1, 2021, we have an example quiz that you can do right now. So if you go to quizzes on the HUMSERV 101 page and click on the Vatele practice quiz for flipped classrooms, you can choose to take this quiz, and this will look very similar to all the other quizzes you do for both this course and the other courses in your first year. So here I'm just giving random answers. And if we just fast forward and I submit this quiz, then what you'll see is just a list of all the questions and which ones I got right and which ones I got wrong. In most cases, when you're told you got a question wrong, you won't be told what the correct answer was, but it depends on what your instructor for a given course has set the options for. So just make sure you pay attention to what your instructor has told you. And also in this case, in most cases, you'll be told the score. So in this case, I got 2 out of 10. So there's many different examples of the kinds of activities that you will do in workshops. In HUMSERV 101, there are quite a few different activities planned for you. Here is a very simple workshop activity that you might do. In this one, you are just separated into groups, and you're just asked to think about what it would take you to believe certain things, such as if horses have naturally red hair, and so on and so forth. So this is just an example slide from a workshop. Imagine yourself in a room with 30, 40, 50 other students split into groups at different tables, discussing questions such as these, and then coming together back as a class and having a class-wide discussion about this topic that hopefully should solidify your understanding of this topic. In this case, it's epistemology. So just to reiterate, before the workshop, you watched module videos 1.1 through 1.4, did the reading for module 1, or readings rather, and you made and reviewed notes. And when you attended the class and workshop, you did the quiz in class, and then you learned additional information and participated in classroom activities.